Hi, my name's Simon. In my last video I talked about the 2003 Buffy the Vampire Slayer prop auction. Buying from eBay in the United States, if you live in the UK, was not as easy then as it is now. We didn't actually get PayPal until October of that year, which meant messing around with Western Union or international money orders, which was both expensive and risky. It wasn't a risk that I wanted to take. So unfortunately, I had to let the Buffy auction pass me by. But in the years since the auction, I've been fortunate enough to put together a Buffy the Vampire Slayer screen used prop collection from the secondary market. In this video, I'd like to talk about and show those props. We often only get to see a fleeting or badly lit look at props on screen. So it's fascinating being able to study them up close and see all of the talent and work that went into designing and realising them. Before taking a deep dive, I'd like to talk a little about the nature of original props. If they're seen in a close-up, then they're referred to as a hero prop and usually have greater detail or some functionality involved. Conversely, stunt props are usually less detailed and are often cast in rubber so that they can be thrown about without being broken or injuring the actor using them. Production used props are exactly that. They've been made for the show, but they may well not have been used at all. There might be backups or flawed casts. So the use of the term screen used is actually quite problematic, as there's rarely any way that you can tell whether a particular prop has actually been on screen or not. There are, however, screen matched props. These are items with a particular weathering or floor pattern that can actually be identified from screen captures. These are the only real provable screen used props. Most of the items in my Buffy prop collection are of hero prop quality and a few are actually screen matchable. So let's get into it. The She-mantis arms from the season 1 episode Teacher's Pet are built from metal and fiberglass shells coated with foam latex. There are metal handles and a ripcord on the inside that allows the operator to flex the limbs at the elbow in a suitably bug-like manner. I believe this set was most likely used for the insert shots when Miss French dispatches Dr. Gregory and drags Xander off to her lair, though they may have been used for part of the main Mantis costume. Early on in Teacher's Pet, Buffy is confronted by a fairly fearsome looking vamp called Claw, or Fault Guy, and we don't actually get to see his passport. Anyway, he looks like this. It turns out that Claw is actually a bit of a and spends too much of his time watching Danzig videos. He's scared of the She-mantis and Buffy dusts him without any problem at all. Oh well. This is the hero claw hand prosthetic with metal blades. The metal mechanism is actually painted resin and you can still see where a small piece has broken off. In Season 2's Phases, Oz discovers the joys of lycanthropy, Angel meets his match, and Larry comes out.
I wanted to ask you something. Is Jordy a werewolf? Uh-huh. And how long has that been going on? Uh-huh. Well, no reason. Thanks. Love to Uncle Ken.
Geordie, that little shit. I hope he ended up coming up against this guy.
I tore a tooth from the mouth of every werewolf that I killed. This next one will bring the total to an even dozen.
For Phases, a detailed animatronic mask was created for Oz. The eyes and jaw could be moved by radio control from off screen. In later seasons, fairly simple prosthetics were added to Seth Green's face to allow for easy recognisability and easier setups. Unfortunately, it looked way crappier than the original mask. The Phases werewolf mask is a remarkable piece for a 90s TV show on a limited budget, but unfortunately demonstrates the danger of buying props created with foam latex. It wasn't meant to last. When I bought it, it had already had a restoration job done by SFX expert Tom Spina, but still managed to suffer significant damage being shipped from the US to the UK. A further restoration job would have been extremely expensive, with no guarantee of prolonged life. Sadly, Oz suffered further degradation when displayed by me at the Sci-Fi WalesCon in 2017. He is now largely retired and leads a peaceful life in a glass case in my display room. The mask still contains the animatronic mechanisms used to control the eyes and jaw. Christmas in England. Brussels sprout sandwiches, chestnuts roasting over an open wound, but never any bloody snow, unlike Sunnydale, California. Sorry, that bit's from the end. In season 3's Amends, Angel, just back from his little holiday in the Hell Dimension, is being haunted by visions of his victims after revenge. It turns out to be the work of Ultimate Big Bad, the First Evil, known to his buddies as the First.
These letters contain references to an ancient power known as the First.
First what?
Evil. Absolute evil. Older than man, than demons. It could have had the power to bring Angel back.
These guys. I saw them in my dream. I fell asleep up there. Who are these guys?
They're known as the Bringers, or Harbingers. They're high priests of the First. They can conjure spirit manifestation and set them on people. Influence them, haunt them.
These bringer letters are hand-inked on parchment that has been aged by the art department for an extremely realistic ancient scroll look. The letters can be matched to the ones on screen in the episode. A backup of the main letter was also sold in the auction, but I believe the other two are unique. Skipping forward to season 6, a rather poorly looking Buffy is dragged back from her early retirement by the Scooby Gang. Shenanigans ensue. Hellion demons on motorcycles. Believe that's a common problem in Sweden. This foam latex glove belonged to gang leader Razor. A number of variations of this prop were sold in the auction, from stunt gloves with rubber blades to a simple animatronic hand. This one has metal blades attached to the fingers with ornately detailed resin finger rings, denoting another detailed hero piece. A pair of original scripts for bargaining parts 1 and 2 that have been marked up by someone involved in the Hellion scene. In season 7, Buffy comes face to face, or face to faces, with the First Evil and its hellish stormtroopers, the Uber Vamps.
I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about. And right now, you and me are gonna show them why. It's time.
This all-over face mask would have been used for background Uber Vamps when a large group was required, as in the final battle in Chosen. The main actors playing Uber Vamps, as seen in Showtime and many other episodes, would have had far more elaborate makeup applied and real teeth. This is another prop where the foam latex has not aged well. The mask has become very fragile, so he rarely comes out of his display case for fear of dusting. The Initiative. With its high-tech weapons and devices, it was a deliberate anachronism to Buffy's world of magic, stakes and crossbows. It was never going to end well for them.
Watch your mouth, little girl. You should know better than to tempt the fates that way. 'Cause the big bad is back. And this time...
The Initiative blaster rifles emitted high-voltage bolts of electricity that were highly effective at disabling Sunnydale's demonic population, or hostiles as they were labelled. The rifle is constructed from solid resin and metal. Only 2 of these rifles are ever seen together in the Iron Team Polgara battle, so it is possible that this is the hero rifle used by Riley in the classic episode Hush when he tracks down the gentleman. In a foreshadowing of what was to come, it crapped out when push came to shove. Buffy was later issued with the presumably more powerful Mark II rifle for a confrontation with the Polgara demon. Tampered with by Maggie Walsh, the rifle failed, proving Giles was right about her all along.
Professor Walsh? That fishwife?
Another variant of blaster technology is the pistol version. Carried only by Forrest, it was used against Spike in the dormitory in the episode The Initiative. The Initiative pistol functions like a standard taser, firing barbed darts connected to the main weapon by wires to carry the charge. Like the blaster rifle, it is cast from solid resin and has 2 steel barrels connected to the receiver. Night vision goggles are frequently used by the Initiative on operations against hostiles. The goggles are an original design of the prop department rather than being based on real tech, and are constructed of resin and rubber. Looking through the goggles is a bit like a quick trip to Sunnydale UC after dark.
Remove the complication. And when she least expects it.
Adam.
Mommy.
One of the central themes in Buffy Season 4 is the ruthlessness of power and the hubris of science trying to control nature. Of course, Maggie Walsh is a riff on Victor Frankenstein, and Adam, her creation, a stand-in for the tortured monster of Mary Shelley's classic. The main difference is that Adam and Maggie are both sides of the same twisted coin.
Don't tell me you never heard the Beatles.
I have. I like Helter Skelter.
What a surprise.
Adam, played by George Hertzberg, would have had a number of different armour attachments depending on what the scene called for. This hero head armour can be seen on screen in the episodes New Moon Rising and The Yoko Factor. It features a flip-open panel that allowed him to upload data directly to his noggin. It appears to be constructed from chromed plastic or resin with extensive use of Velcro to attach the parts to the actor. When I obtained the head armour, all the LEDs were working. Unfortunately, only one remains functional. This unused foam latex appliance would have been painted by the art department and applied to the actor's face for these scenes. When the Scooby Gang is confronted by Adam in the episode Goodbye Iowa, Adam is seen inserting a mini-disc containing the data pertaining to Riley Finn into a port in his chest.
I'm a kinematically redundant biomechanical demonoid, designed by Maggie Walsh. She called me Adam, and I called her Mother.
For this scene, a static torso was created from foam latex to match in every detail the prosthetics worn by Hertzberg. This prosthetic torso can be screen matched to the one in the insert shot by the features of the elaborate paint job. The only functional part of the disc drive is the green LED. Looking at the rear of the piece, it seems likely that someone was waiting behind to pull the disc through.
I wear the cheese. It does not wear me.
Honestly, you meet the most appalling sort of people.
Well, replicas. And speaking of replicas, the next in my series of Buffy related The next in my series of Buffy related prop videos is going to be the next in my series of Buffy related prop videos is going to be about replicas. If you want to know how to make something cool out of an old cow bone, then stay tuned. If you're enjoying my content, please give me a like and hit the subscribe button if you want more prop videos and stupid commentary. Until then, cheers.